So, taking speech class online has definitely been a lot different than I thought it would have been. It's definitely taught me a lot just about the subjects that we specifically learned about, but not just that. Taking a speech class online, I figured that maybe, you were to be allowed to have a speech in front of you, and then you could just kind of present it to your audience and like occasionally look up to them. But more, what I wasn't aware of is that you have to just have your speech like done extemporaneously, and you have to know your points, like what you're talking about, which actually helped me a lot because I feel like I learned more about each subject that I had presented a speech on. And taking a speech class online has also taught me, how to better organized with a group, whereas in person, it's kind of like you just stand in front of the classroom and you present a speech. But in a speech class online, you have to have like all of your group members have a specific date and time for each of them. We have to, know how to organize everything well within one another and work well together so that we can get our Google Hangouts and our speeches you know, kind of out of the way and going smoothly and whatnot. We also learned a lot, or I learned a lot about not just verbal communication, but a lot about, nonverbal communication, how you look at somebody says a lot, the way you're standing, if you're facing towards them, away from them, even the way that your like feet are positioned teaches you a lot about how a person feels about you and the thing that you're talking about. We learned organization skills. We had presentation aids for our last one for the persuasive speech that I wasn't really, so knowledgeable of. I think before this class, I had no idea, the different types of speeches. And in the course, we had gone over it. So the one that we did with the persuasive speech, we definitely had our presentation aids that were, it could have been a graph or some kind of picture or an object to kind of like hit home the subject more with like each person that we're talking to. Also, I think that we learned a lot about language. So we learned a lot about, the way that you stand or the way that you sit, the way that you express yourself while you're giving the speech definitely has a lasting impression and makes the speech completely different. I wasn't expecting to learn as much as I did in this class, but I think, the weekly discussions and the quizzes and all that definitely helped to solidify everything.